Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into the last hour-ish, 40 minutes, hour
Indeed.
of today's episode. I'm really curious to see where things go from here because if we do a quick check of the old clock situation, there's a lot of hot colors on the board right now.
Looks really
pretty. It's not looking great.
It's
Yeah.
rainbow shit up in here. Only Elixir kind of doesn't like you. Which is fine. This is becoming an Elixir sponsored party. But yeah, Freyr, you have managed to piss off hella real in this one. The action clock is one step away from, and I noticed that like we didn't really transition from like legwork to mission as cleanly as we usually do. Like I kind of feel like at some point we were just in the mission. But yeah,
we were under the impression that we couldn't really transfer over to action until we figured out where the server was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff. There's some weird stuff going on with timing on this.
Either we're still in legwork, or I think it ended basically as soon as the drone saw us, and then the hit squad came after us.
Yeah.
That seems like where it might have been.
Yeah. So as we bask in the warm glow of these delightful clocks, I guess you just go to John Johansson's house.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my
we're
plan.
desperate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is like it.
Okay.
Us lead.
All right. So John Johansson lives alone in a essentially like a capsule in a box, in a big box of capsules. The building he lives in is a arcology that has, you know, several dozen floors of little like individual units where people live and sleep. Then they have a floor of shared amenities, so like a kitchen and probably like a gym and like really basic stuff for living that you would have your own thing of if you had a real house. And then several dozen blocks of capsules again, and just goes up. There's like hundreds of floors of this, like jamming as many humans as possible into this tiny space. They all exist around a central open corridor that is used to shift air through the building. So there's this kind of open area with light, but it's all been crisscrossed with like wires of people like sharing power or internet service, hanging clothes. Like it's all blocked, so it's all shadowy in here. And there are like stairways around on the outside. And so you arrive at the train station that services this section of like mega blocks, and you have an address. What are you gonna do?
I feel like Kathy's just doing the thing where you're like, okay, like 171, 173. Like she's just like going along trying to find the address. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just gonna like just head up there and knock on his door?
Yeah.
First we're going to ask nicely, and then we're going to ask less nicely. I think in that order. I mean, up to you two.
Okay.
Looking at, two of you.
That is the plan, yes.
So the four of you are out in this like hallway. To the left, there are a wall of like doors, and these things are stacked on top of each other. So there's like too high, and then a little like a ladder built into the wall. So if you live in the upper one, you climb up it and climb into the little capsule. And then to the right of you, there's a banister and then a big drop. You're on the like 30-something floor.
So did we find the thing? Are we at it
Yeah,
now?
yeah. You find the capsule.
Some people live in these things? Like this is, ugh.
Is there any way to determine if the capsule is occupied currently?
Yeah, there's lights. There's a little like status light that is red if it's locked, or like green if it's unoccupied or whatever. And they can set that. It's like a little flag.
Okay. What does it indicate for Johansson's?
You know that it's locked. That might mean he's inside with it locked, or he's gone. It's a kind of like stay away alert. Yeah.
All right. Well, first off, I'd like to infiltrate a secure location. The inside of this, what do you call it?
Capsule. Yeah, it's a little pod. Okay, sure.
and then use your mother duck roll, so we all are just in it suddenly. Totally full.
So covert entry, and then that's real cool. So I get 1 hold.
Okay.
Which means I can bypass.
So the only security measure you have to overcome is that it's locked. He has a card that would lock it, and he's either inside and has locked it from the inside, or he left it unlocked.
So I from a pocket of my suit, I pull out like a card, but it's like it looks like a blank card. It's like a white one with like nothing on it, and hold it up to the like scanner or the
Hold up,
ID.
you're not just gonna knock first? Give him a chance to come out. Talk to him nicely before you break into his house. I know you like doing that, but if he's just inside and doesn't want to be bothered, we can still bother him.
Do you want me to open this, or do you want to take the lead on this thing?
I was hoping you just talk to him. Look, he's got a doorbell.
Yeah, there's a little.
I put the card away. I keep my hold and I knock on the pod.
Okay, you like hit it. It's real like flimsy plastic. It doesn't have like a good like thud to it. It's just banging on the side of a shitty refrigerator. Yeah, there's no sound. You hear nothing from within.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, plan B.
Let's check if he's inside. If he's not, then we wait. Scan the card that I had described before, and there's like this there's like this moment of like it's not accepting, and now it is.
Yeah, it turns yellow, like, wait a second, something's wrong. And then it goes and turns green, and there's a click. And yeah, you hear the like beep of the lock, and then yeah, the thing opens.
So I open the pod door. Is there anyone inside of this
You
small
reach out, and
space?
again, think of it like a freezer or whatever. It's a square kind of door on the lower side. You pull it, and there's a little bit of like tension as you have to pull it. Maybe the hinge is like stuck or something. And you yank it open. And then everything goes loud and bright and hurts. I mean, yeah, like I told you that Krug had this information hours before you did. So yeah, his capsule, the bomb that Krug placed here to blow you up, explodes. So
I mean, what did we expect, really?
It was like when we die. We'll see how far in this we get before we die.
So I feel like now is an appropriate time for me to mention that I went back to get the helicopter and I'm not there.
You're like, I'm in Panama.
I'm not even joking.
Just in Panama now. Yeah, so there's an explosion.
Can I use intel to have known that?
No, you could have like asked the neighbors. You could have, there were lots of things that could have happened before we got to this place, but that's okay. We're here in Explosion Town now. So yeah, there's a bright flash and there's fire and there's heat. And Hemlock, what do you do? Like in that second between the like you pull it open, then you hear like boop, and then something because you got your your synth nerves are all fucked up, right? So
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
I think basically what I do is go, oh shit, and then blow up.
Right. Fire just erupts into the hallway. I mean, instinctively, you would like try to cover yourself.
Sure, obviously, there's like that. Oh shit! Like move, boom! Like, but I don't think I can get out of the way. Like,
yeah, I mean, act under pressure to try to mitigate the harm that you're looking at here.
Can I mitigate it to nothing? If not, I'm still dead.
Maybe not.
Nope.
5, 6, 7.
Oh, 7.
Okay. So, all right. So you can throw yourself partly out of the way, but you've only got 1 harm anyway. So yeah, I don't think it's enough. I think that you take the hit and it's like fire and debris and shit. I think it's small enough that only the person opening the door gets hit with it. The rest of you like pull away. Your ears start ringing. There's the debris of all of the like inside of the capsule. These like chunks of burning foam that get blown out into the into the exit side. And I think that over the ringing and stuff, you can hear shouting. And at both ends of the like long platform that you're on, the Krug strike team that was waiting for you to get blown up, you can see them coming up the stairs around both sides of the corridor. Hemlock, I guess you take enough harm to put you over the edge.
Yeah.
Can you make that move?
Sure.
Okay.
7.
All right, you're gonna have to make a hard decision. You're out. So Hemlock gets thrown back against the banister. You don't get knocked over, but you get thrown against the banister and then fall down. And your suit is all trying to like deal with the the damage. So it started trying to self-repair, but it's all smoldering and like burnt.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're like knocked out and lying against the thing, and then and in slow motion as this is happening, these Krug forces start coming up around the corners, and they're shouting and like bringing out guns and approaching you on either side.
I feel like Kathy's just like, please no, like, don't hit me. Like she's not like, her instinct is not to like, you know, duck under cover and like shoot at people.
Well,
She's
and so this is an option. There is a moment here where you surrender and we clunk the action clock over to midnight. Or you fight back and maybe I'll get sliced up. Who knows? We'll see.
Kathy's instinct would be to like surrender. But I mean, y'all could like tug her back or something like that.
So is Kiku actually not with us, or is Kiku?
Like, I legit wanted to be going to get the helicopter, but there wasn't an opportunity for me to talk.
That's
when y'all
is absolutely
ran out,
fine.
like,
So
I mean, the thing is, if the mission fails, everyone suffers. So whether you get caught here or you get caught elsewhere.
But yeah, QQ is getting the helicopter, and she's like, "I'll meet you there."
yeah,
So I mean, this would be like where there's a separate ambush at the helicopter pad where they like snag QQ.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like Kathy like cowers and like goes to surrender, and Neat's just like, well, guess this is it then.
Neat. There's so no, like, please.
And he goes, "Fuck you, caught pigs!" And just like lights the sword and just goes at them.
So the thing is, before you get a chance to do that, you're like, like you pull your sword, you're like, "Fuck you, court pigs!" Bwam, and your laser sword goes up, and then we just hear like machine gun fire as the team just like light you up. And
like the Navi's like panned away so it can get the whole fight, and it's just like live streaming me to somewhere.
But
like
what I worry about here is that there won't be a fight because you're taking 3 harm from a small gang.
Oh yeah, no, it's just like a really horrible like snuff live stream.
Yeah,
yeah, he just dies. But it's filmed.
Well, we'll see.
On the
So
internet.
you take the hit, which fills your clock.
You gotta buy some agricultural property.
And then you gotta
right?
buy some agricultural property. Roll that meat.
Let's do this. Yeah, you just die.
Meat just gets lit up. So Kathy, we see you like go behind her and just Neat's blood just like splashes on you as Neat just gets like blah, like hella machine gunned, and then just like slumps to the floor, and the plasma sword like goes out.
Please don't do that to me.
Yeah, and I think they like grab you, and we just hear a lot of like shouting, like kind of like machine shouting, like they sound kind of robotic and Russian. Like you get pushed against the wall, and we see in the downstairs as like you get black bagged and like pulled into a Krug like van or whatever. We see there's we see this guy in the van too, and he's got a bag over his head, and he's wearing just like jeans and a tank top, but he has all these like tattoos, and we recognize like with his neck tattoo that this is John. And let's talk about what happens at midnight. And then we'll see what happens to the surviving members of the team.
Probably some really shitty stuff.
So when let me see, let's get my PDF open here. When we hit midnight on an action clock,
Well, this isn't just midnight on an action clock. It's also midnight on the corp clock.
Oh yeah, that
clock,
just
right?
it just stays there. They're at max with this team. But with
Set
the
to midnight forever.
well, unless the team changes, in which case we just reset it. Okay, mission clock. Here we go. Action clock. When it reaches 0, the mission has failed and players have to bug out. Let me see. This hasn't happened yet. So. Here we go. The final state of the legwork and action clock. If the action clock is filled and every member of the team escaped alive or uncaptured, the target corporations are infuriated, blah, 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 their corp goes up. Yeah, I mean, I think we can all just decide, like, what happens. Like, you get murdered heroically. Neat becomes a legend on the Matrix.
There is a 0% chance that they didn't just walk by and shoot me in the back of the head.
Well, see, I don't know that though. Like you're an unknown thing, so Elixir might have ransomed you off, right? Like we could talk about how you're like you could take owned by Elixir, and Elixir is like, yeah, we freed you from Krug, because Krug, they could just take you in and use you as leverage against Elixir, right? You're the least attached, so you have the most sort of freedom. Same thing like QQ, like you all have the agency to describe how that stuff kind of plays out.
I think it depends what happens to the rest of them, because I'll happily.
So yeah, if the action clock hit midnight and the mission failed, you get to decide if your characters escaped alive, were captured, or died. Dave has made his decision. That Neat gets machine gunned. You can decide if you were captured, whatever, or alive, and you decide. So if everyone escaped alive, the corporation advances the clock, which you can't do because they're already at max. They're just like hella after you. If any of the corporate characters was killed, that corporation is momentarily sated. The clock doesn't advance. If the objective has been completed, it hasn't. If any player was captured by one of the corporations, don't advance the clock, but multiple corporations were involved, the other clocks might advance. And then, they could make a corporate move that gives them leverage over the character. So you can narrate like another corp bailing you out, essentially, and trading you with Krug for something else.
So it has to be another corp interfering.
It would be
Krug, like cutting a deal with Kathy.
Yeah, or you could become a double agent if you had something to offer Krug. And basically it's on y'all, not on me, right? So like I don't get to be like, this is what Krug does. You get to say, this is how the corporation structure interacts with me and what I do. I think
Hemlock is definitely captured.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's just a limp corpse basically that happened to be there when the fire team arrives. So it's one of those things where you just gather everybody up and throw them in the van.
Kathy's definitely captured as well. Obviously, we already narrated that.
But I'm not entirely sure that she's gonna get free anytime soon. You know what I mean? It's sort of like my thought on that. Like I'm not sure. Well, what is everybody else doing?
Bleeding.
Being memorialized.
Yeah.
Having a sweet manga made about you.
What about our friend QQ?
So what happens? You go ahead and narrate what happens to QQ. So QQ goes to I think you get ambushed at the helipad.
To pick up the chopper.
Yeah.
But I think something happens along the way where like there is some team of like Krug henches after her, but she like gets wise to them before the ambush. Where like it's that scene of like she's walking into the like area where the helicopter is being stored, but like sees one of them like tagging the helicopter or something with this like tracker or putting a bomb on it or whatever, and she's just like, oh, and then like backs away. And I think I'm retiring the character because I think she just has to go like so deep underground.
Yeah,
she just goes like entirely. Yeah,
QQ's just like, okay, time to cut and run. Actually, no, even better. I think she gets pinged by that douchebag from Freyr.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And that he has bartered with Krug so that he gets to control her fate. And QQ has to go back to working at Freyr as like.
Yeah, they send you to Nevada to like help them win some like water war over there.
Yeah, she just like has to fall back into that because she gets like bought by that guy and his punishment
Yeah,
for her being.
What's funny is there's a 3-way fight for you because Krug has you physically. Freyr believes that Freyr owns part of you, and Elixir owns part of you too. So you just get objectified and sold off, and the three of them make a deal about what to do with you, and then
but essentially
money changes hands, and some jerk who like had a thing for my sort of girlfriend purges me to like fight in corporate wars forever.
Sweet.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
So I guess it's just Kathy now.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Does Kathy endure?
I mean, in my head, Kathy doesn't get any of this, but she's also super smart and really good at shit, you know? And like maybe like I don't know how I don't think Krug would have the like finesse, as it were, to be like, oh honey, like you're so sweet and nice, like we want to give you a job so you can do this stuff for us.
Yeah,
like,
that's not very Krug.
That's not very Krug.
Krug is like, you have skills, come to live yet.
Yeah, they would just be like, we have fitted you an
Olivia.
exploding slave collar. You will belong to us now. Make drones, or we blow off your head.
Oh god, that'd be so bad though. I mean, but that's pretty much like if they captured her, it's like probably
or some other corporation would
Purchase
take
you.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like, I mean, she's not an unknown entity. Like she is known by both like
It's true.
Disney Bezos and potentially like people who do drone stuff, because she's really good at that. She's like a prodigy, and she has been like publicized as that by Disney. So maybe she does get bought out.
So I think what happens is, this is an opportunity for Kathy, but you've been the whole thing with Mr. Blank. You've been being followed by a Show Nintendo Onisoft like cyber ninja squad, because they want this guy too. They want this John guy too. So I think what happens maybe is that Hemlock, you get put in one vehicle to take you for processing, because they're like, we don't know who this person is. Go figure that out. This team, Alpha team, take them over here. Omega team, we know this fucking criminal right here, and we have our soft serve asset we need to go reprogram. So that vehicle heads off, but that's the vehicle that gets hit by the cyber ninjas, right? So there's probably this scene of like, Kathy, we see you, with the bag over your head in the thing, and then there's like shouting and gunfire, and the vehicle gets flipped over. And
samurai sword through the wall.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And we just see these ninja. We never see them. We just see that they take apart the Krug team so that they can take, because these guys are elite. They're hella serious, and they take John. They take the server. And I think they probably at some point they offer you the opportunity to like join them. Like they know who you are, and they're like, listen, we could just leave you here and Krug will come back and get you, or you can swear loyalty to Show Nintendo and you can join us. And so there's just this like Genji looking motherfucker who like reaches out with his robot arm to like see if you want to come with them.
And Kathy just looks at the robot arm and she's like, yeah, robot arms.
Yeah, cool.
She's into that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so you go with Genji.
She becomes an English voiceover actor for adult anime.
She's Korean.
So you speak English. Well, and so I think what would happen then was they would probably like take you they would take you away and recruit you into Show Nintendo Onisoft, and you can become an anime-fied version of yourself.
Anime Kathy.
Yeah, and Kathy Animu.
I think for Hemlock, the outing in the van is a little more grim. There's like a Krug compound in a quiet room somewhere
you go to
where
prison
she's
camp.
chained to the table basically, and they play back in AR the video of her stabbing that innocent woman through the throat like for no reason. Basically,
and then they're like, we love it when people stab innocent people through the throat for no reason. You got a good sound. You'll play great here at Krug.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like you all have, because the game establishes that everybody is a badass, right? And that just killing you isn't necessarily a thing that they would want to do if they could own you. If they could be like,
you gotta try and
you
be
took
hired,
apart 6 of our best men with a whip and no armor. Like we could use badasses like you.
It's true. Give me some armor and I'll do it a lot better.
Yeah, and like Kathy, you end up in probably like drone tech support for Cannibal Girls, like on their tour or whatever,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because
hella.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
they need camera drones and stuff.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Kathy would be down with that.
I'm not saying I've already thought a little bit about my next character actually being part of those, but I have a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet you have.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy, I don't think Kathy has the attitude. She's not in your
No,
face enough to be a Cannibal Girl, but she definitely can be like support team for them.
Well, and she's like, that's where she probably like feels better in terms of like all this
Oh,
shit gone down, and she doesn't want to be in front and center anymore, like ever again.
Kathy as a contact. Kathy as a contact. Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has
I
to
dig it.
be.
That's awesome.
If she could never get shot at ever again, she'd be happy.
So I guess who's the pivot here? Is Hemlock the new like dark version of Hemlock? Our pivot, and the other three of y'all make new characters. Where do we spin?
Are we
spin the game
just
around?
is this just a wipe? Is that what that is?
It feels like it might be.
It feels like it's a wipe to me.
Yeah.
Like,
So options that I see are we become a Krug commando team led by Hemlock,
Krug Team 6.
Freyer commando team led by QQ, or
Cannibal Girls.
we play as Cannibal Girls and the pivot is Kathy, but she's like a lead out. into a
Yeah.
set of characters.
she's like the NPC. She's like the NPC fixer. There you go.
Yeah, she could totally just be like, "Oh, you need something? Cool."
Yeah, so I mean the world that the Cannibal Girls operate in is like cyber terrorism and cyber warfare against
And a
like
hacker
enemies of the Japan Zaibatsu state. So that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is going to suit being a non-runner team. I think we wipe it. We have like, I like that as a pivot in because, like I say, that's probably going to be my next
What
character.
this is it's the spin-off with tangentially related characters like still
Well,
around.
the corpse all stay the same.
And yeah, the corpse are the same. The
Like we
world's the
reset
same,
reset all the corporate clocks. Everyone can make new characters, and we play
And
in
then
the
we do
same
the
world, but
yeah.
with the
But
It's
like,
season 2 of The Wire.
but I was gonna
corporation
say,
system, yeah.
like, as far as we're aware, Hemlock is alive, Kathy is alive, and QQ.
Yeah, they still exist.
They're all
Right, and
alive.
I'm fine.
Neat
Yeah,
is
and
still alive.
I like
as a
the
legend.
idea. I like the idea of them being in the like background as contacts.
Yeah.
If everybody wants to make a new character. Or
I think that even if we're playing in a space where Kathy exists, like she's completely done.
but yeah, she's a background character now for sure.
Yeah.
It's a way that she can participate.
I have an idea of what I'm gonna make already.
Yeah, me too. Oh, what does this say?
Oh yeah, I'm just moving all my shit to the token line. So
Yeah.
the premise of the job is that Krug was using a bunch of people. They didn't know. This poor John dude didn't know that he was a server for Krug, and they were hiding information, Johnny Mnemonic style, in their brains, and they were using this gambling website as a way to like connect them to their database and to like drop information into them and pick the information up. And now they didn't know, but all of the people that were, and I had another one in case you discovered them, but all of the people that were servers, they had the same like gambling addiction. So they had to keep coming back and connecting to this gambling website. The gambling addiction was programmed into them to keep them coming back. And keep them sort of off the Krug like grid. And the guy, this John Johansson, he was storing all the data that Krug had on you, because Krug wasn't really supposed to be like planning an assassination of people. It's sensitive information, so they were storing it in these people. And then the guy started going for like rehab for his gambling problem, and then they hadn't connected to him in a long time, so. What Blank was trying to do, they were storing some important Show Nintendo information on his server as well. And Show Nintendo sent him to hack this John guy, and he fucked it up. And so he was trying to get you to clean up for him. So he's like, yeah, just go kill this guy or whatever, deal with him. And then 2 birds, 1 stone, right? My
God
job's good.
damn it,
Everyone's
Blank.
happy.
But he lied. He lied to Show Nintendo Onisoft. They found out. He broke the he told them, they tortured him, and he was like, okay, like there are these runners and they're after it, and so that's what put the cyber ninjas on your tail. But yeah, he was just trying to use you to like clean up his mess. But yeah, that was kind of what was going on in the background. So he had his own little advancement clock about his fuck up. That was sort of climbing up as we went.
I really like the chat suggestion that we get to keep the sword somehow in it. I don't know how, but I'm about that.
Yeah. So that's all the stuff that was
Cool.
going on in the background of
That was fun.
of that mission.
That was a really complicated mission.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. I liked it. We gotta just go until we died. That's the whole thing. It's great.
Yeah, cool. So what should we do for next time? I guess character creation.
Maybe because we're gonna want to set up the links, right?
Yeah.
The links on the corp clock, yeah.
Yeah. So I think character creation and then setting up the links with each other.
Yeah. Okay. So next one is likely going to be a shorter one because I won't have time to prepare a mission. But we can chew the scenery.
I feel like it'll be an establishment episode, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess my question is, do we want to keep all the corporations that we have? Do we want to keep some of them and introduce some new ones? What do we want to do there? Like, I think we need to keep at least a few to keep the game centered around that. But because each of your characters will be connected in the same way as if you created.
We're keeping Show Nintendo because we're going with the Cannibal Girls in, right? Is that what we decided?
Well, I don't think
we've
necessarily
decided
there's a
that.
mechanical thing. No, I just kind of want to play as one. I want to be a hacker. They were my favorite group that appeared. So, but you don't have to worry about that as part of your character creation at all. So, to answer the question, yes, I'd like to keep Show Nintendo.
I don't think we need.
Here's the thing. Here's what we can do. We can if you have a character that you want to connect to an existing corp, cool, we'll do that. If you want to make another new one, we can do that too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we don't necessarily have to remove corpse to add corpse. Like,
yeah. Okay.
We can just make more cool things around stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If we think about it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to. I mean, I can choose to have them as part of the game or not. But if you want to add new ones, that's the thing you can.
Oh yeah,
really
and
okay.
Yeah, it's up to you, right? So.
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. All right. Well, let's bid our farewells to this batch of cyberpunks, and we'll don't worry, we'll be back with more in not that long. So on on Friday at the usual time at 11, we'll come back, we'll do another episode, and we'll introduce some more new stuff, and we'll expand our idea of the world. So I hope you'll come back for that. Obviously D&D on Thursday as well. So if you can't bear to wait till Friday to see us all again, you can do that. And in the interim between now and then, Elf, where can people find you at?
Okay, so I'm not gonna do an in-character one for Hemlock, but I'll give you a little teaser of what I'm gonna be doing. Okay, how's that work? You ready?
Oh, shit. Here we go.
I'm not good at this accent. It's gonna be great. I don't know if I can do the kind of Russian accent. It's very difficult, but I am Distracted Elf, and you can find me at twitch.tv/distractedelf. And yeah, go there for glorious Krug comrade things.
Awesome. Thank you, Elf. Andrew?
I'm sorry, I just can't get over Count Chocula over here.
Shut up!
I'm Andrew. You can follow me on the internet at Commuting Crow. And normally I would be streaming this afternoon, but I'm not going to because we did this show and it ate up the whole morning. But you can see me tonight on Distracted Elf's channel running Blades in the Dark. I'm in the D&D on Thursday. I'm also in a Apocalypse World show on Thursday evenings on Misclicks, so you can check that out. And I will be streaming some Magical Girl role-playing game design on Friday after more Sprawl.
Fantastic. Thanks, Andrew. Blue Jay?
I'm Blue Jay. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BlueJay. You can find me here on Thursdays and Fridays, or you can find me on Misclicks on Wednesday nights for D&D Prophecy with the lovely Trista Ray. I'm currently in the process of, settling, moving again, and lots of stuff. So time-wise, I'll mostly be here, I guess. But yeah, that's me. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Dave, my dear friend Dave.
Hello, everybody. That's a lot of fun. Thank you all for coming and watching and witnessing me as I was blown apart by assault rifles. Yeah, that's good. I'm having a lot more fun now. It's not that I don't care about the character dying. It's just like a better mindset for how I feel anyway, the way to think about the characters. So I just wanted them to have a cool death and like do as many cool things as possible before you get there. That feels a lot more cyberpunk to me. So I'm psyched for a new character as well. Yeah, if you don't want to wait until Thursday, maybe I'll tweet this week at Dave__human. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a tweet in between now and Thursday.
It's a big deal when Dave tweets.
Yeah, like 20 people liked my last tweet. I'm pretty sure I'm famous now.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Dave. Thanks everybody for coming and witnessing the end of an arc. We'll make some new characters and we'll continue to explore the world of the Sprawl at the end of the week. And if you missed any of today's episode, it'll be available as a VOD basically right now. You could go start watching the beginning of it before I'm even done this sentence. And otherwise, it'll be on YouTube on the weekend, like usual. You can find me at twitch.tv/AdamKoebel, where this evening I'll be taking up the role of the disgusting human Cantor Haig in my game with John, Strash, and Sean. It's a once a month Blades in the Dark game where I play an incorrigible asshole. So I'm going to go start drinking now. So I'll be ready for it when we start. Otherwise, you know where I'm at. I'm right here. I'm over at Roleplay on MEJP and I'm at my channel, twitch.tv/AdamKoebel. I will see all of you again on Thursday. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Bye, everybody.